Deep within the forests of Australia, two friends were hiking. Their journey led them to an intriguing discovery: a series of unusual pipes. Emerging from the ground, driven by curiosity, they decided to investigate further. Eventually, they stumbled upon a concealed doorway hidden amidst bushes, concealed beneath a large wooden lid. What lay hidden beneath the surface was a deeply disturbing piece of history: a vast abandoned army bunker. The bunker consisted of numerous tunnels, branching off in different directions, intersecting a long central corridor. Its sheer size made exploring the place akin to navigating a maze, compelling the friends to stay close to each other. Fearing getting lost, as they delved deeper into the structure, they encountered inscriptions on the walls, translating to cries for help. Despite the warning, their curiosity urged them to venture further. The decay of the bunker became increasingly apparent as they progressed, accompanied by sinister messages scrawled across the walls, such as "Hell is near." Some rooms and corridors were flooded, emanating a putrid sewage smell. They eventually entered an exceptionally large room, housing a mysterious contraption at its center. It seemed plausible that the previous occupants had hastily fled the bunker, as evidenced by a lone shoe submerged in the sludge on the floor. The urgency implied by the abandoned footwear raised questions about the circumstances under which they departed. The structure was believed to be an old military bunker, possibly used as a shelter by the Nazis during World War II. However, the reasons behind the soldiers' sudden departure and whether they were responsible for the ominous warnings on the walls remain unknown. Today's video is focused on the terrifying encounters hikers have faced while exploring the woods. In 2008, a couple named Derek and his wife Sonia were enjoying a weekend getaway on an island, a place they had visited numerous times before. With their extensive experience in camping, they found this island to be an ideal destination due to its picturesque beaches and dense forests. Previous camping trips on the island had been successful, until their final outing took a truly horrifying turn. Eric and Sonia had set up camp on a secluded beach, far away from any roads or civilization. Relishing the solitude, to reach the trail, they needed to walk along the beach for a kilometer, and then venture 2 kilometers through the forest to reach the road. Earlier that day, they had met another camper named Larry from Haiti, who planned to sleep in his van parked nearby. The couple invited Larry to join them by the beach for a cozy fire, and the 3 of them shared a bottle of wine, engaging in conversation around the crackling flames. As the sun began to set, things took a creepy turn. The trio kept hearing what seemed like female voices emanating from the bushes that separated the beach from the forest. It wasn't too dark yet, so they considered the possibility of other hikers or campers nearby, or even a group offshore, whose voices were echoing in an unusual way. However, all 3 agree that they were indeed hearing female voices. As night fell and the voices persisted, Larry bid them farewell, setting off to hike back to his car before darkness set in. Eric and Sonia, feeling increasingly uneasy due to the ongoing voices, stayed behind, tending to the fire. The voices, sounding like 2 women conversing, grew louder and appeared to be coming from just beyond the tree line. The couple stayed up late, keeping the fire burning, until the voices finally ceased. Before retiring to their tents, they scanned the cove multiple times with a flashlight, searching for any boats that could have been the source of the mysterious talking, but found nothing in sight. Around 3 a.m., shortly after settling down to sleep, Eric and Sonia heard footsteps near their campsite, originating from the direction of the fire. The footsteps came from an area inaccessible to humans, leading the couple to hope it was merely a bear or some other animal. Black bears the only bear species on the island, are generally timid around people. The footsteps moved from the fire to the tent, then retreated back into the woods. 5 minutes later, the footsteps returned to the fire, accompanied by two distinct female voices speaking unintelligible gibberish at a very high volume. Eric and Sonia couldn't recognize any known language in their conversation, and the voices seemed to overlap and clash with each other, resembling a conversation but lacking coherence. The eerie communication continued loudly in the pitch-black night, far from civilization, without any visible light sources to guide them through the dense undergrowth. Moreover, the direction the voices came from appeared impossible to traverse on foot. The two voices eventually moved from the fire pit area to the vicinity of the tents, still engaged in their loud conversation. They lingered for a few seconds, directly above the tents, before abruptly falling silent. Enveloping the night in complete stillness, they retreated back into the woods, never to be seen or heard again. Eric and Sonia remained frozen with fear for an extended period. They finally awoke around 11 a.m. the next day. As they had fallen asleep quite late, packing up immediately, they decided never to return to that location. The couple wisely chose to remain silent and hidden in their tents, avoiding drawing attention from whatever or whoever was outside. At 3:25, the photographs you are about to see were captured by hikers Arlie and Cy. They reside in Arla Mountain, a small town situated south of Kansas City. Over the past few years, they have been exploring forests in search of intriguing discoveries. One day, while hiking in Cedar Fort, just 5 miles Kansas City, Arlie stumbled upon a significant amount of animal bones and discarded items left by people. However, things took a strange turn when she started encountering peculiar symbols and scattered animal parts throughout the forest, some arranged in peculiar formations. On July 24th, Arlie decided to bring her friend Cy along to witness these unusual findings firsthand. During their expedition, they stumbled upon something even more unsettling. Along the trail, they discovered a severed deer head surrounded by a pentagram made of deer legs. These items were not present during Arlie's previous visit. As the sun began to set, they quickly captured photographs and realized it was time to head back to the car. However, as they walked, they realized they were unfamiliar with the path they were on. Despite searching for familiar landmarks, the darkness engulfed them, leaving them lost. Armed with only their phone flashlights, they started feeling an eerie sensation of being watched, increasing their pace. They heard the movement of trees and bushes, roughly 25 feet to their right, adding to their growing concern. What made it more unsettling was the absence of any wind that night. Panic set in as they hurriedly followed a trail they stumbled upon, hoping it would lead them back to Kylie's car. Just when they believed things couldn't get any worse, they heard an otherworldly scream, a chilling sound that seemed neither human nor animal. Terrified, they sprinted down the trail, with Arlie consciously avoiding looking back. However, Cy couldn't resist and claimed to have seen a large black figure on the trail behind them, too immense to be a human. Miraculously, they made it to the car. Escaping whatever pursued them, they left the forest and returned home. Upon conducting research, Arlie discovered reports of occult practices and numerous unsolved murders and disappearances in those woods throughout the years. Similar to Eric and Sonia from the previous story, Arlie has not returned since.